I suspected my roommate was going into my room, I just didn't know he was stealing my underwear. This suspicion began about a month ago when he, 35M, texted me, 30F, at night, asking if the upstairs neighbors were being loud in my room. I replied, no, I'm at a friend's tonight. I won't be back until 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. tomorrow. The next morning, I left my friend's place early, entered my room, and started using my computer. Suddenly, the guy just opened the door and tried to walk in at 7:30 a.m. I said, excuse me? Very aggressively, and he responded with two conflicting statements when pressed. Sorry, I thought I knocked, which is absurd because I didn't open the door or invite him in, and then, I thought it was my room. Why would you knock to enter your own room, especially when we are on opposite sides of the hallway? It made me feel weird, and I told my boyfriend about it, who bought me a Casa webcam. The very next day following installation, this guy goes into my room while I'm at therapy, and it's to pet my cats. Alright. It's a little weird that you didn't ask beforehand, but that's okay. It's like low on the creepy scale compared to what I thought was happening. My cats cannot leave my room, as my other roommate, 60M, has a cat with free reign of the apartment, and his cat disrupts mine. Unfortunately, they are confined to my room. It's fine if you want to come into my room to pet my cats, I guess. Why not just say that when you tried the other day? Nothing happens for weeks. Until yesterday. Yesterday was a fairly light day, and I didn't even have to go to campus, so I just went to the gym. While I was at the gym, I received an activity detected notification. Since the last time I saw him in my room petting my cats, every activity detected notification has just been one of the furballs on my desk. Nope. It's him entering my room, not even looking all the way around before he sticks his hands into my hamper and digs around for a minute. Then he immediately goes to my clean underwear drawer, and when he's done there, he beelines it for my nightstand where I keep very expensive lingerie, as well as all of my adult toys. He very clearly knows where all of my things are. I'm watching this live at the gym, and I'm livid. After he leaves my room, I rewatch the clips and notice he puts something back into my hamper on entry. He enters the room with something in his hands, goes for my hamper, and then when he's done in the hamper, there is nothing in his hands anymore. So he's just been taking my clothes and underwear. I texted him both on Discord and in our roommate chat that no one is permitted in my room when I'm not there, and especially not to raid my belongings. He apologizes and immediately leaves the group chat, then spams me on Discord and text messages with, I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me, it won't happen again, I have a problem, etc. I just told him, don't speak to me, and only text me about bills. Unfortunately, I don't have parents, my boyfriend lives with his parents who would not be okay with me living there, and none of my friends have a place I can stay. I am stuck here. I'm also on a fixed income because of grad school, so even if I could afford the monthly rent, deposits and other stuff wouldn't be covered. It took me 3 months to find this place, which was the first and only one to let me keep both cats. I already bought and installed a lock, despite my apartment complex saying I can't have a lock on my door, but my safety comes first. However, I can't help but feel disgusted about my things being touched. After I got back from the gym yesterday, I threw on a bathrobe and never got dressed again. Today, when I woke up and thought I'd go to the gym early, I paused at my underwear drawer and just couldn't bring myself to put any on. This person already owes me $400, but I don't even want to wear anything from my underwear drawer without knowing what pair has been touched by him. My friends say I should go through and catalog, as well as sterilize, all of my things. I just want everything replaced, but considering the cost of some of these items, they think it's unreasonable to ask. I also want to go file a police report, but I don't even know what it would be for. Trespassing? The moment I press charges, I'm down a roommate, and his room is a neckbeard nest that I'm not going to clean. I don't even know what to do here. I'm still livid, and I still feel pretty unsafe even with a lock on the door. Is there anything else I can do? Update 1. Hello all, I am indeed alive and out of that creepy apartment. I didn't want to provide an update until I knew the full outcome of the story, and it unfortunately took until just under an hour ago to get that. After a week and a half of playing phone tag to file a police report, and then sitting in a police substation for 7 hours to file a report, he was eventually arrested for criminal trespassing, a felony charge in my state. This was in April. He or the prosecutor were able to push back pretrial hearings until today, nearly into November. Today he pleaded guilty to criminal trespassing and will have 12 months of probation. I was able to be released from the lease since the judge who saw him the morning after his arrest issued a notice to vacate under the explicit supervision of law enforcement. Since I was involved in the order, I was given the option to break the lease without penalty, which I enthusiastically agreed to. I paid my other roommate utilities startup fees and utilities for the next 3 months before I left since he had to backfill 2 roommates. I also cleaned my own room and Neckbeard's room before I left. He was stealing all sorts of stuff from me and the other roommate. It was mostly food we never gave him permission to eat, despite him literally only ever DoorDashing food and making more money than me and the other roommate combined. Fun fact for those of you who are wondering, didn't he get himself off with your stuff? Isn't that intimate assault? Why is there a trespassing charge instead of something intimate crime related? It turns out, at least where I live, that for intimate crimes there has to be a victim. Since I was never present in the room when he committed those acts and there was no DNA evidence left on any of my things, there was technically no victim, which means no intimate crime. I could have pushed for that charge but the chances of that sticking were nothing. Since Neckbeard never posted the room I was renting on Craigslist, and only posted it on a website where you had to upload a face picture to even be a user, I wanted to make sure whatever he was arrested for stuck with him so that no other woman ever had to have her stuff violated again. I completely forgot about that whole website thing until the prosecutor's office called me and they asked me how I even found the room in the first place. The only man I will ever room with from now on is my partner.